and I have little knowledge about IT.
All right. And can you also brief us, like, what made you interested about the Workday training?
I see a lot of opportunities in DICE regarding Workday, and SAP has been become a good partner with Workday. Now the opportunities are more in Workday. I will some time.
All right. That's good.
Hi, this is Srini.
Yeah, hi, Srini.
Hi, how are you?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
good? No, I just joined. Okay, just want to say.
All right. So we are actually introducing each other. Could you please say a few words about yourself?
Oh, okay, fine, okay. So I've been in IT for last 10 years and I'm working currently on the SAP data migration project. So just want to say I'm hearing a lot about Workday now, okay, into the ERP space and the HRMS, okay, integration side and all. So just want to see what it is, how it is related, okay, other than SAP.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Okay. I can see Naveen.
Hello, this is Naveen.
Yeah, hi.
I have BA and PM background. I've been in the IT industry for the last 10 years. I'm just curious about the Workday, as it is the latest ERP that's quite in demand. So I'd like to know what this is about.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Sai?
Hi everyone, this is Sai Kumar. Thank you. I've been in IT industry from past 7 years. I'm working under SAP FICO, mainly on FI side. So due to heavy competition and more thing, I would like to transform the different ERP technologies, which I'm looking for mostly PeopleSoft or Workday. So I see a lot of booms going on in Workday. So if that's the reason, my main goal to be joining the Workday sessions.
Okay. Anyone else left out? Is Swapna done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Okay. Okay, I'll introduce you briefly with our Masterex. We have over 300 consultants placed, and we have been in the market for past 10 years. We have experienced faculty of over 10 to 15 years, and they have streamlined courses and up-to-date study materials, which helps us to train them efficiently. I'll also briefly introduce you with our trainer.
Hi, Dimple.
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Can we have all mute, okay, unless they have a question, because we are hearing a lot of echo.
You are hearing what?
Here we are hearing a lot of echo, okay. Can we have all on mute, okay, unless they have the questions, okay, so that it will be clear.
Yeah, I think everybody is mute except Srini and Swapna. That's it, right?
I did mute on my this one phone. No problem. I'll mute here too.
Do you still listen to these disturbance? Hello?
Yeah, I
All right, good.
It's my
Okay, good. Okay. So Ruchi is our trainer for the Workday HR. She has been working with many companies for past 8 years. She has been training with us for past 5 years in the Workday HR itself. She has she comes from various backgrounds, like she has done SAP, HR, Workday, and she has also been, instrumental in QA job as a lead. So I'll now pass on this call to Ms. Ruchi Patel, who will take over this session from now. Yeah, hi Ruchi, I'm just making you as presenter now.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Pooja, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so good morning everyone. I know this is Sunday morning and it's fairly early for a lot of people, but thanks for joining today's session. What we aim to do is we want to provide you an overview of what Workday is, why really people are going towards Workday, what are the advantages, how the entire project comes in place, how the different pieces join together, and where would you fit in if you are planning to join a Workday project. So that's really kind of like the aim or the agenda for this session, and then that would give you enough knowledge for you to determine or decide whether you want to pursue Workday as a career, whether you want to take up new opportunities in Workday, and where would you think you can fit in. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I would like one of you to confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so as Pooja did a roll call this morning, I see many of you have experience working in IT industries, so you fairly know how SDLC projects come in place, how they start right from inception till go live, and the post-production part as well. So that's not what we're here for. But just to give a brief background for some people who do not have much knowledge in regards to IT projects and would like to join this pool and see how their career progresses. So just to give a brief background, in IT we start the project starts with like its inception, right from the SOW to project charter to project plans. From the project plans, then we have different teams coming in. We have the business analyst teams, we have the developers, we have the QA team, and then we have the users, the actual business users who get involved in the later phases of testing. So once from the project plan, once it's built, we have all these bifurcations, and everybody has a role to play. Sometimes it's like a waterfall role, or sometimes it's very much in parallel. So depending on how or where the project is going, there are different means and ways where the project managers looking at the situations, looking at the teams. So overall, that's how a project looks like from like 10,000 feet above. Now let me jump on to Workday. So I see some of you have a background from ERP and SAP as well. So you are quite familiar with how these ERP systems work and what is their basis. Workday is slightly different. Now the reason Workday is different is it's a cloud-based software. It's a SaaS-based solution that Workday is providing to a lot of companies for their entire HR functionality. Now the next slide shows what we will be going through. So the topics are that, again, introduction to Workday. What do we really mean by cloud computing and SaaS? Why people are going towards Workday? How does it work? And who are all these people who provide this solution? Where does testing come into picture? And what are the different modules that Workday has that a lot of these companies or clients are going towards? Okay, so now what is Workday? Now Workday is, as I mentioned, is a cloud-based solution for all HR functionality that includes human capital management as well as financial management for any client. Now, many of you would have heard about PeopleSoft. Some of you might have come across in your previous projects working on PeopleSoft projects, but it is very similar to that. Now, from PeopleSoft, Workday has evolved from PeopleSoft. I can use that word. Reason being, PeopleSoft is a very robust application provided for all HR functionality. Workday is doing the same. Workday is a cloud-based solution. So what Workday does is it takes everything that's HR related for a client, like all the HR functionality, takes it and then make sure that they use Workday to do all those day-to-day tasks. So that's what Workday is offering. Now they don't really sell it. What they do is they hand it over to the client, but it's more like a subscription base. It's not like the client owns it and then it's done, and then they have no connection with Workday itself. So they make sure that they are in touch. So we won't get into those details because those are not really relevant, and you can always Google through it and you can read a lot on what Workday is. So I'm pretty sure many of you would have. Again, Workday has roughly updates, like 3 to 4 updates a year. And what these upgrades do is they push any changes that they want to push. They push through these upgrades, whether it's like a really minor change of enhancing functionality on mobiles, or whether it's a big change where the entire look and feel is changed. Every single new thing is pushed through an update or an upgrade. And that upgrade is almost instant, and it's done everywhere. So a client cannot really choose not to update their own version of Workday. They have to accept it. Even the mobile functionality, the iPads, the Blackberries, the Androids, everything is updated all at once. So Workday ensures that this is done seamlessly, and so far we have good background or feedback from the clients in regards to these upgrades. Okay. Now, to give a brief background of what cloud computing is all about, it's really a practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet. So there's no physical server that they really need to use. So what clients find this interesting is, now for them this is a cheaper solution. Rather than maintaining everything on a physical server, this is a cheaper option. Plus, it's faster. It's available instantly. So there are a lot of advantages of going towards cloud computing. Again, software as service, SaaS-based solution is really a service that's provided by via web-based. So it's an on-demand software, really. It's like Facebook. You type the URL and you get Facebook, right? That's it. So you type workday.com, you get your Workday page. So every company will have their own URL once they go live, and whatever URL they choose to, they have that, and that's their production. So it's workday.com, and then they see it. That's it. There is no storage, nothing. So that kind of helps the clients to go towards Workday. This slide really shows, where these different pieces, how these different pieces join and what they mean. Okay. Now moving on to why Workday. Now, as you can see from slide number 7, there are a lot of different modules, or there are a lot of different functionality that Workday offers. You have time tracking, you have payroll, you have talent, you have entire human resources, you have financials, you have revenue, you have procurement, you have expenses. You have a lot of things that Workday offers, inbuilt, in-house. So if a company wants to go to Workday using all its functionality and get rid of everything that they have currently, they can do that. You don't really need to have anything that's existing if you have to move to Workday. Workday offers everything that you currently have. If you have a time tracking system, which is separate, then Workday says we have it too. So it's a client's choice whether they get rid of the one that they have and go with Workday. That way they have less back and forth data flow. Everything is within Workday. People enter their time in Workday, and all that is connected to their payroll, their financials, their procurement, their expenses, everything. It's all internally connected. So Workday say that they have everything you need for a client to have their HR functionality running smoothly. So this is entirely what Workday is all about. So they have They have all this different functionality inbuilt. It's up to the client to choose which one they want to go with and which one they want to kind of subdue at the moment. So why are companies moving towards Workday? It's less expensive because it's a cloud computing solution. It's ease of use. I mean, it's a URL. You type an URL and you open up Workday, and it's so user friendly because it's not complicated. So the HR person or the finance person or the person, a normal employee entering the timesheet in Workday, they don't really need any training. It's not that complicated. It's very user-friendly. You know what you want to do. You can see it. You can play around with it, and you can find your own stuff. So that's one of the reasons a lot of companies or clients are going towards Workday. It's free of maintenance. As I said, the upgrades are pushed regularly, and there's no option for the clients not to take on the upgrade and deal with the older version. No, it's all done at one time, everywhere. Your laptops, your computers, your desktops, your iPhones, your BlackBerries, your iPads, all devices are upgraded at the same time. So that's why it's free of maintenance. So the clients really don't have to worry about what's going to happen, because once the upgrade are pushed, they are already tested before. They are already regression tested before they are pushed. So that way nothing really breaks. So I have been in this industry for a long time, and not a single upgrade has broken something. Usually in other projects or in other applications, we've seen that whenever we change something, we have to regression test it, correct? You have to make sure that nothing else breaks. But here, that we don't have that issue with Workday. Again, it's remote access. So, okay, if you're not in front of your computer, you can access it on your phone, you can access it on your iPads. You don't really need to be on VPNs, or you don't really need to be on VMware that client has provided. You just need internet connection. So as long as you have internet connection, boom, you can access Workday and you can finish all your tasks. And then again, the regular updates. So Workday has a very, very robust plan, and they make sure that they communicate out well before the updates that this is what is coming, and then the client has enough time to analyze it, look at the impact, talk to people. If they need people to test it just once, they can use all that time to make sure that it's tested, just for their peace of mind. So it's not like you have an update and you don't know when it came. No, it's always communicated 3 or 4 months in advance. Okay, so this is a URL. If you want to take a look at it, whenever you get a chance, go through it, look at what Workday offers. They have their own site, and you'll see a lot of different videos. If you want to go through, like some videos that will give you an idea of what they really do. So again, as I said, it's very similar to like Facebook or any web-based URL. It has global access. If you're in India, you're in China, you're traveling, doesn't matter. As long as you have internet access and you have your login and credentials, you can access Workday no matter where you are. Workday is really based on permissions. So like every other application, if you are just an employee, there's only certain things you can see or do. If you're a manager, there's a lot more that you can see or do. If you are a HR partner, again, there's a broad range of activities that you can do within Workday. So Workday is based on roles and security. It's very, very robust, and they are very strict about what access they have to give to whom, and I have hardly seen any security lapses in Workday. So it's very stringent that you determine that this role gets this access, and this role gets that access, and that's what it is. It doesn't change unless you want to change or unless there is a request to change it. So Workday offers extremely well security for each role. So as an employee, I won't be able to see my team because I really won't have a team. I won't have a team under me. So I will only see limited information that I need to do, like my timesheets, or I can see my pay slips, or I can see my holidays. Or there are certain things if I'm responsible for entering people's compensation, then I have access to it. I can enter people's compensation. But I don't have a team, so there is no way I can see my team. There is no way I can see other people's teams. There is no way I can see access other manager and see, oh, this manager is staying here, this are his contact numbers, this is his compensation. No. So that way Workday is very role-based. It has very tight security on each role. And the base being is the securities are actually on the objects. It's not really like, you know, okay, you're a worker, so this is the process you see, this is a process you don't see. No, it's actually the object you can hide from a person's access. So as like all about me page becomes an object. My team is an object. Dashboard is an object. Payslip is an object. Timesheet is an object. Then the configuration person can go in and make sure that they can or cannot see. So everything is object-based within Workday. Now, how does a client go about having Workday? Now, there are Workday implementers in the market which provide the solution. So we have people like Aperio, people like Accenture, Active Payroll, Wipro, Day9. These are a lot of common names that we hear in the market who have Workday, and then once a client determines that they need Workday, they approach one of these implementers, and then the implementers configure Workday based on the client's requirement, and then gives them this solution towards the end. They are licensed implementers, and you know, they are licensed implementers, and they have these Workday tenants or solutions to provide to all the clients. So really, if a client wants to have Workday, they need to approach one of these implementers who then provide their budgets, provide their provide what the statement of work, that okay, this is what you will have and this is how much it will cost you, and then based on that they determine what implementer they need to choose. So that's how the entire Workday process flows. So it's not really Workday providing the solution, it's Workday providing the solutions through these licensed implementers. They have their own developers, they have their own configuration people, they have their own analysts which use the requirements that the client provides to configure Workday. Okay. Now Workday has different modules. There are three major modules in Workday. One is business processes, the other one is integrations, and the third major piece is payroll. These are like the three high-level modules that constitute everything you do in Workday. So I don't want to confuse everybody, but I'll just give you a high-level idea of what these are. So business processes are like whatever process you want to do in Workday. Anything that you want to do in Workday becomes a process. Even if you want to enter a timesheet, that becomes a business process. Even if you want to just change your photo, that becomes a process. If you just want to change your legal name, that becomes a process. So any or every activity that you do in Workday is a business process. So there is an objective to it. So for example, if you want to change your legal name, that's an objective. But then again, that's a process. There are certain steps you need to follow to make sure that your legal name is changed. Some prominent examples are hire, terminate, promote, transfer, compensation. So if anybody is hired, they need to go through the entire hire business process. Make sure that the person is hired successfully in Workday. Why is this important? Because all this information goes to payroll. A person is hired, it's fine. But if payroll doesn't know this, I mean, that person will never get paid. So we have to follow the business process at Workday design to make sure it successfully completes, and then that person gets paid correctly. So business process is one part. That constitutes majorly all the activities. Any HR related activities fall under business process. The next part is integrations. Now what is integrations? Now Workday offers everything in-house. Now what if a client decides that, okay, I don't want to have timekeeping or time tracking in Workday. I want to use my own database or software that I have been using for these many years. Then what Workday does is they integrate with all these third-party systems. They integrate with this time system, they integrate with payroll, they would integrate with any other system like any other financial systems that need data from Workday. They would integrate with any application tracking system, any recruitment systems that would provide them all the new hires. So Workday that way is very friendly. It is able to integrate very seamlessly with all these different third-party applications. So, you're not stuck with having everything in Workday. The client can make a choice what they can have in Workday and what they cannot have in Workday, and what they can continue using all their applications or databases that they currently have. For example, a client is going with Workday. Now Workday offers recruitment system. So Workday offers a functionality that you can take applicants from the market, you can screen them, you can schedule interviews, you can hire them. Now a client is saying that I already have a system called Taleo doing this for me, and I have the contract for next 3 years. Now the client can't really go out and cancel their contract and go with Workday, because that is going to impact the client financially. So what they do is they say, okay, we are going to leave this Taleo as is, and we are not going to use the recruitment piece given Workday, but Workday has to make sure that it integrates with this Taleo system and gets all the data. So that's where Workday integrations comes in picture. So there are outbound integrations, there are inbound integrations. So there's data coming in, there's data going out. So both ways. So that is what really Workday integrations is all about. This is more like an integration workflow, how an integration is run. We will discuss more about it in later classes, but it's more like, user logs into Workday, they run the integrations. There is an integration for every third-party system that Workday is integrating with. Once it's completed, there's a file that you need to take a look at. There's a file we need to check for the data mapping, errors, everything, and finally that file goes to the third-party system. Directly sits there, so it's not like somebody has to do any manual effort here. Okay. Now the different roles within Workday. There is an analyst role. There is a testing role. There is a business analyst role. So for the purpose of this class, we'll be focusing on the testing role. So what does testing involve in Workday? Where do you come in? Now you would come in from a testing perspective, determining what different phase of testing you would want to start with, what is the strategy, what are the different components, how you would strategize each and every phase of testing. Testing in Workday is very different than testing in other applications. So the strategy, the test plans, the scenarios, everything is different. So that we will cover in our classes, further classes, but I just wanted to give you an overview that we will be focusing on the testing role in Workday. Now as you can see, it says P1, P2, P3. Now what are these? Now Workday is tenant based. Now what is a tenant? Tenant in Workday means exactly what the word tenant means in real life. So you're having an application, but it's not your own. You're having an environment, it's not your own. So they call it tenants. What we call as test environments in other applications, they use the word tenants. P1 stands for prototype 1. So it starts with P0, then it goes to P1, prototype 1, then it goes to prototype 2, then it goes to prototype 3, depending on how many tenants a client wants. It's fairly easy to have a tenant. It doesn't cost much for a company. For example, if they want to continue some sort of ad hoc testing in a different tenant, not touching any other data, then they can just request, okay, I need a P4 tenant. Can you give me that? Okay. Oh, there it is. You have it for 3 months. You can test as much as you want. So that is what really Workday is based on. And the production tenant is called Gold. Okay. So the third-party applications, here are some of the examples of what third-party applications are. We have Taleo, we have ADP Payroll, which is a major one. We have time tracking applications, we have benefits, we have recruitment management systems, we have things like financial systems like Atlas, we have a lot of other systems, we have Active Directory systems where the data is flowing back and forth from Workday. So overall, as I started in the beginning, the agenda of this demo was to provide you an idea of what Workday is, give you a background of why people are moving towards Workday, what are the different modules, and what is the role that we'll be focusing on. So, okay, so that's where we are. And Pooja, back to you. Pooja, can you hear me?
Ruchi? Yeah, hi. Yeah, I could hear you, Ruchi. I was just saying that this was quite informative, and I hope all the participants really enjoyed it and understood the whole objective about having this session. And if they have any questions, I would, invite them to come up with their queries to Ruchi. Ruchi, hi, Pratibha here. Can you hear me?
Hey, Pratibha, yes, I can.
Hi. Ruchi, I come from a HR background,
Mm-hmm.
and I have used Workday as a HR administrator. Prior to that, I've used even SuccessFactors and implemented it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to understand is this training solely going to focus on the testing skills versus an analyst role?
So the training will focus on both. It will be primarily for testing, but it will also focus on some parts of the analyst part, like how you would gather requirements with HR folks and how the documentation is built up in Workday. So we will definitely touch on that.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that with my background in picture, an analyst role is what I would be looking at in Workday versus testing, because I basically don't have any testing skills.
Right.
So never learned a language as such.
No, sure. I think with you being part of, you having hands-on on Workday and you being involved in SuccessFactors, again, SuccessFactors is one of the application we went live with to replace, Workday was used to replace SuccessFactors. So I do understand you have a very good background, and more or less, I think this would be useful if you know, because this testing is not really what testing is in real world. Workday testing, as if you were part of the implementation, right? It's more like scenarios that come in, that do a hire, do a terminate,
Right.
do a full end-to-end cycle.
Right.
Let's see how this information goes to payroll. Then you do a dollar-to-dollar compare. So that is what we will be doing. So
Okay.
if you want to get involved, I think it would be helpful. It's not that technical because you already have a background. I think you really, you are like a step ahead. You know how HR functions. You don't really have to go into that detail. So we'll definitely touch upon the analyst part, how the documentation is built for Workday, like how you would gather requirements sitting with the HR folks. So you being on the other side, how you would write out the requirements. So we'll definitely go through that and then move on to testing.
Okay. And how many hours would you allocate for real time or whatever sandbox that we can do in Workday? Do you have the application where we can practice?
So no, because Workday doesn't offer that that tenant for everybody to go in and do a touch and feel. But I can definitely show you when I go through all this business processes, when I go through all this testing, I will be going through the live tenant, but I cannot hand it over to you guys to work on it because there is an NDA behind it, so I can't share that tenant out.
Oh, so how would it help to improve our skill and put it down on our resume saying, we have worked, in the testing part of Workday, or because it would just be a theoretical knowledge.
Right, but we will be doing exercises, like we'll be doing the test strategies, we'll be doing the documentation, we'll be doing the scenarios, right, how you would document them. Because as you know, right, you have been part of Workday projects. So even even like the implementers, they don't really give you the tenant access until you begin testing or until it's required. So what you really need is the background, how it all comes together, how does all the documentation comes together, how you would plan for testing, how you would plan for gathering all the requirements. That is what it really comes together as. Going to the tenant is like almost the last part of any Workday implementation project. Even if you go on site, that will be the last thing that you will get. But the first thing they will want to know is how much knowledge you have on the documentation part. Do you even know how HR functions? Do you know how testing is done? What are the different types of testing? And what do you do in actually each of those testing phases?
Okay. And I have another question. So what
Sure.
is the total time for this training? Is it broken in terms of hours or is it in terms of weeks?
So I was thinking that it will be 4 weeks training and there will be 2 classes per week. Because I am also currently working on a project, so I have to also make sure that we gather the time that you provide and then coordinate with my time. So I think 2 classes per week. We will do like an hour class, but it might go to 2 hours. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I'll make sure I have bandwidth to expand the time frame. So we'll do 2 classes per week for 4 weeks.
Okay. So it's basically the 16 hours of training that we are talking about, right?
Yeah, estimated, yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Anybody else who has any questions?
Do you have, can they, hi, this is Naveen. Can you have something like a fast track course which you can cover in kind of like 2 weeks?
What type of course you're looking at in 2 weeks?
I mean, the same course, can you cover it in 2 weeks? The 4 weeks I feel is kind of like a stretch.
Right. It's just that, you know, this is keeping in mind with everybody's background. But if there is a way, if we can segregate people, like you already have experience of 10 years, right? So you really know how the projects function. So you need a background of how Workday comes in picture. So we can definitely think through it, and we can segregate people that have experience, and then they don't need like a stretched course, and do something like a crash course. But that is something I'll need to discuss with Pooja and see how we can work that out. So if you want to send your requirements of how what you're really thinking of in the crash course and send it to Pooja, then we can work together.
Yeah, sure. Means since we have all the candidates out here, maybe we can ask them also if they are available for this crash course. We can create a batch for that itself. Otherwise, however the majority goes, we can do that, right?
Right. If they send all that information to you, Pooja, then we can sit down and we can go through and then, design a course specifically for them.
Yeah, sure. In this case, I would invite everybody to participate like how they want this to be structured, so that we can decide it as soon as possible and go with this classes.
Yeah, as I said,
Yeah.
I'll start. I would prefer a 2-week course, kind of like 8 hours a week.
2 weeks, of course. All right. Anybody else? Ashu, what do you say?
Actually, I'm completely new to this Pooja, so I want to do like a 2. For me, 4 weeks is okay.
All
Because
right.
I don't have any IT experience or HR experience before.
Okay. So any preferences for the day?
Yeah, I had one more. So what happens at the end of 4 weeks in terms of job placements and all that? Do we discuss it in this call or do we take it offline?
And so for the job placements and all, we have a marketing team that can that I can introduce you with after this training and evaluations are done. They will take over from there. They will get into the contract with you for a year, and then they will explain you the procedure afterwards.
Okay, so it's our choice whether we want to get employed through you or we just take the training and go on our own.
Yeah, that's absolutely upon you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi Ruchi, one more question I have. This is Sai. Actually, I have a background with the financial side, so SAP FICO. So, how much area that Workday training what you are providing as covers from financial side?
So financial module that Workday offers is fairly new. But what I would be covering is compensation, the payroll part of it, like how compensation is determined for every individual. What are the bases? So that's what I will be covering from the Workday side. It won't be as extensive as SAP FICO because that is a separate, entire separate module on its own. But with Workday, that's what I would be covering from the finance side.
So your training is exclusively from only for HR perspective.
Correct. Yeah, all the HR functionality.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Ruchi, how many implementations of Workday have you done, and would you be able to share as to where you're working right now?
I won't be able to share where I'm working right now, but I can say that I've been involved in 5 Workday implementations, right from start to finish. So before that, I was on different domains. Then I was also involved in SAP, BW and BI implementations. So that's really my background.
Okay, so as a consultant, you have implemented it for 5 different clients.
Right.
Oh, awesome. How was the experience?
It's painful because Workday is global, and that's the major this thing, because you work 24/7. You are working for India, you're working for China, you're working for Europe, you're working for Mexico, you're working for all these people. So you're trying to manage their time. So that's why I'm saying it's painful. Otherwise, it's fun. It's very aggressive. There's a lot to learn. And once you get into that project, you know, there are a lot of different things that you get to learn and know. So it's not just that you get this training and you're stuck in one small piece. There's a whole world that opens up to you with Workday, and then you can make your own you can analyze everything on your own. You can make your own decisions. Then you can think, okay, I can also do this. I can also do that. So there are a lot of different things that happen.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
This is Swapna. I just want to share. So for the sake of practice, when you are doing the training, at that time we get to see the application and then see the software, how it is working. But after the training hours, how do you think we can cope up with the training and know the application more in detail and get an experience?
So after the training, I mean, I would be giving you like some documentation. I'll also be giving you some links to some videos where you can go in and start looking at those videos, and you will start understanding of what we just learned. So the more you go through them, the more you'll be able to understand how it's done. You don't really need something to do hands-on like all the time. This is not Quality Center. This is not any other software like a healthcare software or anything. This is completely different. So once I'll be providing you all those things, you know, as and how we progress. So if I give you everything right now, you'll be all confused. So as and how we progress in each class, I'll be providing you that.
So we really don't need the configuration experience. That's what you say.
Yes, and the configuration is not something that I would be training on. The reason being is we have Workday implementers. They configure the 10 for you. So if you go on a Workday role, you won't be really configuring anything. What you would be doing is you'd be running the business processes, you would be testing them, you'd be writing requirements, and there's a lot of things that you do other than just going through the tenant, and you know, it's not technical part that you only focused on.
All right. So it's more of a business analyst role than something like we do in SAP part. It's really
right. It's you're a business analyst, you're a quality analyst, you're a quality lead, you are an analyst lead. So there are different roles that come into picture with Workday.
Hi Ruchi, this is Srini.
Hey Srini.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of requirements they're asking about certification. Okay.
Right.
How do we get the certification on Workday?
So Workday certification is only provided by Workday. So if you are at a client site that's implementing Workday and they put you in training with Workday that provides certification, then you get certification. There is no external way to get certified with Workday.
Okay. Because we need to be at some placement to get certified,
right.
But to get placed, they're asking for the certification. It's a reverse, okay?
Right,
so
right.
It's circular. I don't know how do we get in.
So there are some roles that ask for certifications. There are some roles that don't. So it's not that every Workday requirement needs a certification. So I didn't have any certification when I started for my first Workday project. So it's not that you have to have a certification. Even I have my colleagues that currently I work with. They're not Workday certified, but they're working on this huge Workday project. So, it depends on what the requirement is, and they determine whether they need a certified person or they need a person with experience.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, my next question is, like most of these requirements, for the implementers, right, that we may be working, once we get the project, right?
The requirements will be more from the client side. So there are two parts to it. There are implementers like Day9, Aperio, Deloitte, and then there are clients. There are different clients like all these huge companies that have that have global base. Now, when these clients they sign their SOW with implementers, that's where the client needs somebody from their side who has Workday knowledge and who can manage the project well. So that's where you would come in. You would be representing the client, and you would be working with the implementer. So when they provide a tenant, your knowledge would help the client to make sure that the product that the implementer is giving is as per their standards.
Okay, so when it comes to the testing, you say, you're part of the client, and you're testing the Workday application as per the client requirements or not.
Right.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ruchi. Yeah, that's all I have.
Now, since we are all here, may I request everybody to give their preferences for any days or timelines so that we could start off with the sessions?
Pooja, before you do that, I have another class at 10 o'clock, so I would like to step out for 5 minutes. Okay, so let me know how this pans out, and we can sit together and make up the plan. Okay?
All right, not a problem.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Just wanted to check about your availability for the classes. Any preferences?
I think it's only me in the demo. I think everybody was left. I think everyone was left.
Oh, it's early. Okay. Do you want to share your preferences? Then I can note it down, and then I'll each one of them.
Tell you one thing. See, this demo. I have attended purely based on thinking that it's going to be the developer, integration developer, or the configuration side. But looks like I was also into QA background when I started my career. Now not anymore. But this is more likely on the QA side of the Workday.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that's what I've seen. Which is good. But I'm thinking, let me see, because I just want to see how the system looks like first, so whether it's a QA or configuration that comes to next to me, So, so what are you charging for this?
What did you ask?
How much you are charging for this training?
It's $700.
$700. Okay.
Yes.
That makes me to think about it. Okay.
And so like, we have a scheme like once you get placed to us and complete working of 6 months with us, you get the discount.
Pooja, let me ask this. Okay. I need okay, your honest opinion on this. Okay. Okay. So how many consultants you have placed in the Workday QA so far?
Workday, I cannot give you the split, but yes, overall we can say that we have a success rate of 75% of placement, whoever is enrolled with us for any of the trainings.
So that again puts me in the blank. Okay. So what I would like to know is, okay, okay, do you have placed, okay, how many consultants you have placed in the Workday QA? Like, you don't need to tell me the exact number, you can say in between the range, okay? If I say 75% of the attendance, I don't know how many attendees you have done so far, right?
Yeah, means we have had people who have attended the training, and we had already the trained people also coming into us and whom we trained again. So means I wouldn't be having the exact number that you're looking at, or maybe the rough idea.
I don't want the exact number, okay? There is a close like, okay, 7 to 10, something like that, okay? So that's why, okay, again, I'm asking your honest opinion on that, okay? I don't want to, okay, hear something, okay, which is fictitious numbers, okay?
Yeah, means I can say roughly it shouldn't be less than 10 people as of now.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I like the answer.
Check
Okay.
and after the team because they have the exact records with them. So means I don't want to, underestimate the figures.
Yeah, yeah. So the other thing is, okay, so when we go to the applying, okay, obviously you're going to start, okay, looking for the placement for us, okay, once we finish the training. And how about the references? Okay, they'll definitely ask for the references. Okay, two Workday implementation references, mostly. Are you going to take care of the references? Because we don't know who has the Workday client so far. And you're the one who is going to guide us in the placement. And definitely, when the vendor asks me, okay, can you send me the references? I don't know.
That part, will be guided through during the process when you sit with the marketing team after the training. So as of now, I'm out of the picture. But in case you have any more questions to that, we can meet up.
Because I would like to know before I commit for the training. Okay, I would like to know all these details. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying you cannot ask these questions. Just the thing is, as of now, I don't have any answers to these. What I would propose is maybe we can have a call, or in case you could visit to our office, I can introduce with the right people who can explain you.
No, I cannot visit. I think you are in New Jersey?
Yes.
No, I am in Houston. Okay, Houston, Texas. I cannot come and visit. Okay, obviously. So what I would like to do is, okay, can you have someone, okay, to have a conference with me, okay, whenever they are available, who can answer my questions, okay? Then that would be great. And once I speak with them, okay, then I can make a decision whether to take it up.
Sure.
Okay, I'm open this afternoon too. If you want, get someone to conference with me. Okay.
I'm not sure it would be possible for today, but then yes, one of the weekdays I can,
if it is tomorrow, if it is tomorrow, I'll be traveling in the morning. Okay, so definitely it should be after 5 tomorrow.
After 5, okay. Let me check about the feasibility because our office timings are 9 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe Tuesday sometime during the office hours time.
Let me tell you one thing, okay? Let me give you a call in the afternoon tomorrow, okay? So I have your number, that 619 number, right? That's yours, right?
I'm sorry?
The 619 number, is that your number, right?
Yeah, 609, yes.
Yeah, 609, sorry. Okay, I'll call you on that number tomorrow afternoon then, okay? I'll take the time, if it is before 5, okay, when we can speak, okay? We'll take it from there, okay?
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for running in. Yeah. Bye.